Okay, story time. One day I randomly, and I assume that's how it is for anyone who's actually successful on here, got an email from this company that apparently sells high-end microphones, which kind of just blew me away. I didn't think I'd get any kind of proper business email, let alone anything sponsor related, anytime soon. My channel is still pretty small. It's not about the size. It's how you use it. But yeah, ended up getting an email saying, we want to partner with you using my audio microphone. It'd be awesome, yada, yada, yada. Which kind of threw me off immediately. Why is the whole subject of an email so damn long?
That's suspicious.
But, you know, of course I opened it anyway because, real YouTuber moment. I finally got a first sponsor. So, I continue to read it. Hello, Kennesoda. May your day be pleasant when you receive this. That threw a red flag in my head because now it's just like AI scam.
That's weird.
But yeah, that pretty much just made it strike 2 for 3. But, you know, kept going on because hoping for the best, but definitely expecting the worst at this point. And so just went ahead and told me her name and that they started a project for up and coming content creators to go ahead and help with the workflow, and then started dropping all these links, which kind of helped and then also didn't help legitimizing themselves. They said they found me through my TikTok, which, to be honest, I completely forgot I had my business email on TikTok, so I guess that's a good and bad thing. But yeah, they proceeded to say that there is an added incentive of, hey, I could earn $500 to $2,000 for creating a standout video. Whatever the hell that means. But at this point, they showed me what the microphone actually looks like, along with a bunch of contact links and everything else to legitimize the whole email. At this point, I was just curious to see how far all of this would go.
Got to see it through, my boy.
God. And so I just proceeded to write back going, hey, would love the opportunity to work with you guys, because I would have. But you know, as cynical as I am, I'm just like, I got a few questions first though. How would we go about setting this all up in terms of payment, in terms of how I would get the mic, is there a script I gotta read, and then just like what other guidelines are there, pretty much. And then it's just, would I have to return the microphone after it's done, assuming that they were just gonna send me the microphone for free. I was just wondering, are you gonna give it back? Like, do you expect me to give it back? Which would have been fine. I don't need another microphone, as you can tell. And then the thing that really stood out to me was, what's the criteria for a standout video? My channel is, like I mentioned, still relatively small, but I am most definitely working on it. So I sent it as is, not thinking anything I asked was unreasonable. And they surprisingly actually got back to me pretty quickly, 2 hours. And proceeds to say, we're not asking for a review, but wondering if our mic would help support in your recording, to which, I mean, yeah, it wouldn't hurt. I got the HyperX Quadcast. From what I see, it is a more than serviceable mic. So approaching this with that in mind, I don't need this deal. Anyway, they just proceed to go on and on about like how the professional mic should capture all kinds of stuff, just pretty much talking up the mic. And then they proceed to half answer my questions, going specifically, before we proceed, keep in mind that although the product is free, the platform excludes costs of vendor charges, distributor fees, shipping taxes, and PayPal fees. So essentially, I'd have to pay for it to be delivered. I'd have to pay for it to get shipped, any taxes on top of that. And if you have any kind of recent knowledge on recent news on how this amazing state of of the US is in, probably gonna have to cover some kind of outrageous fucking distributor fee. But on top of that, they said they additionally offer the $500 to $2,000 incentive if my video that I'd create with their mic reaches 100 comments as part of their community rewards. And they proceeded to leave more links and stuff, yada yada yada. I'm like, all right, cool, that definitely answered some things, but it's just, I don't think that's reasonable. I don't know about y'all, hell, I don't even know who's paying attention, but you know, at least when it comes to the analytics side of my ish, but none of my videos have even gotten to 10 comments. Well, let's not even bother talking about 100. So yeah, that whole thing is just like, what? Why? The closest I ever got was 9. And I was like at least half of those comments. So I was just, you know, just to go ahead and like negotiate, I guess, because that's what I assume this kind of situation is. So the facts being what they are, I decided to politely ask and say that, hey, I am genuinely interested, but going through my catalog of videos, whether it be on TikTok where you found me, or in general my YouTube channel where is the main source of my content, I have never gotten above 10 comments, and that's including the popular ones. So in general, for me, it seems a little unrealistic to pray for 100 comments all of a sudden. So is it at all possible to negotiate these payment thresholds, or at the very minimum increase the advance pay? Because it just doesn't make sense. Because, oh yeah, I forgot to mention, they offered $50 up front just to do the video, but then up to $2,000 if I got over 100 comments, and of course I'm just any views associated with that. Because again, it makes actually no sense for me to go through with it as is, because I'm setting myself up to not get paid. I haven't gotten a single video that goes over 10 comments, let alone I have yet to have a video that breaks 200 views. So there's no expectation for me here to succeed. So for example, as something I would pitch for this whole situation, for it to at least be mutually profitable more fairly, how about instead of the max to get the $2,000 be 100 comments, we scale that down to 50 and just lower all the thresholds by half at minimum. At least that way it's more within reality and within reach, of course. But yeah, after that, they just proceeded not to reply to me for 3 whole days. Anyway, when they finally responded, they just gave me a bunch of links to go ahead and order which mic, along with some kind of breakdown for how the whole payment would work, or at least the equation they had available, which in itself isn't bad, but again, none of it really answered my questions. And on top of it all, the worst part is, they said because pretty much I fought back and didn't just blindly accept the deal, they went ahead and cut the advance payment from 50 to 20 bucks.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your...
All because I didn't blindly accept the deal, and so therefore, I must be the one scamming them.
What?
Just like, dude, this whole situation is so scuffed. Now, don't get me wrong. I would have been a whore for just about anybody. Anybody decent, anyway. Freaking GamerSupps, Opera GX, Raycon, you know, the basic stuff you see. But again, I was not expecting anything anytime soon, because I'm just that small.
But it's becoming increasingly obvious. I can deny it no longer. I am small.
So, with things being the way they are, I just decided, nah, it's not worth it. Just through vibes alone, and just in general, like, it makes no sense. Overall, I just try to sound as professional as possible, stating that, like, hey, would have loved it, cool, it just didn't work out. But yeah, after that, took them another long while to get back to even that, and it was just like, it sucks not to do it, yada yada yada. Professional speak for, we didn't need you anyway. And I'm like, oh well. Yeah, and that's it. I just wanted to get that story out there because it's honestly pretty funny, because it's just, to me, the logic involved made no sense. Like, don't get me wrong, I want to do sponsors and everything and all that, of course, as does anyone else want to get paid for doing something they genuinely like doing. But like, it just made no sense. Like, at minimum, for their perspective, I don't believe I'm anywhere close to being big enough to make the investment worth it. Let alone just, like, in this context, just with my current performance, whether it's on the rise or not, was it ever gonna meet anything worthwhile? But yeah, that's the end of my rant. Overall, I just wanted to say the story because, one, it's pretty funny, and two, just to kind of, I guess, shine light on, I guess, the behind the scenes of how getting a sponsor works. Granted, this is my first ever interaction with anything, so take that with a grain of salt. And, I mean, moral of the story, research the people who are reaching out to you, just to make sure they're not a scam. Wait, are they a scam? No, yeah, looks like they were.